Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Osetale, and in this channel I share pattern drafting, tutorial videos on how to cut and sew, and some fashion related kind of vlogs. So if this is the first time you are seeing any of our videos or visiting our channel, you are especially welcome to the family. Endeavor to hit the subscribe button and notification bell so you get notified whenever I post a new video. And if you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much for coming back. So in today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you guys how I made this beautiful palazzo trouser that you see me wearing. I'm going to be sharing with you how I cut it, and from there we go straight to the sewing. If that's something you all are excited to see, then let's go straight to this video. Welcome back guys. As you can see, my fabric is already on the table and it is on fold. Now the first thing I'm going to do is to rule a line here which is going to serve as the starting line, and after doing that I'm just going to start taking the body measurement. So I'm going to place my measuring tape on this starting line and I will measure down to the hip line, which is 10 inches. From there I will take it to the knee line, which is 22 inches. Then I will take the full length of the trouser, which is 40 inches, and after doing that I'm just going to rule the horizontal lines. This is the waistline, the hip line, the knee line, and we have our full length. Now I'm going to rule a line here which is going to serve as the border. After doing that guys, I'm going to come to the hip line and I will take the hip measurement divided by 4. I'm going to take the same thing on the waistline as well. Then I'm going to connect the dots. After doing that, I'm going to come to the hip line again and I'll be going out by 2.5 inches. And with the help of the curve ruler, I'm going to make a curve here which is going to serve as the crotch line curve. You can see what we have guys. After doing this, I'm going to take the measurement of what I have on this hip line. You can see I have about 12 inches. I'm going to be dividing it by 2, which is going to be like 6 inches. So I'm just going to take the 6 inches on the waistline, take it on the knee line, and I'll also take it on the hem line. After doing that, I'm just going to connect the dots in order to rule a straight line, which is going to be the middle line of our trouser. Now I'm going to come to this hip line and I'll go down by about 2 inches, which is going to serve as the thigh line. And after ruling the line, I'm going to take the thigh measurement divided by 2. The thigh measurement is 22 divided by 2. I have 11 inches. So I'm going to make sure half of 11 inches is on this middle line while I'm taking my measurement. I'll do the same thing on the knee line. The knee measurement is also 22. So I'll make sure that half of 11 inches here is also on that line. And I will do the same thing on the hem line. Now I'm just going to connect the dots all the way to the hem line. After doing that, I'm just going to blend this line to meet this other line. Just blend it up like this. You see what I did guys? So just do it like that. Now I'm going to come to the waistline and take the waist measurement divided by 4, making sure half of the measurement is also on the middle line. Then I'll add 1 inch for the dart and another 1 inch for the sewing allowance. Then after doing that, I'm going to connect it like this just to meet the waistline. Guys, you see what I did here? Just try and connect it to create that hip line curve there. Then after doing that, you can see when I was taking the measurement there was like excess ½ inch on the side. So I'm just going to take my measurement again and I will cut out that ½ inch. Just create the crotch line to cut that ½ inch off. Then after doing that, I will come down on this waistline by about ½ inch. Then I will create a slope, just create a little slope there. You can see what we have, guys. Now I'm just going to measure what I have on this crotch line. I'm supposed to have about 12 inches, but unfortunately I have 11 inches. I'm just going to extend it to make sure I have 12 inches. Why? Because if the crotch line is too small, it ends up creating tightness at the crotch area, and whenever you wear your trouser it will look tight like this, and you do not want that to happen. So when drafting it out or when cutting, make sure the crotch line of the front is 12 inches. This is applicable to people with hip measurement of 38 or 40, but a situation whereby the hip measurement is 42 upwards, you make sure it's 13, 40, depends on the measurement, guys. Now I'm going to cut it out. You can see, guys, I have the two front pieces. So right now I'm going to place this on another fabric to cut at the back. Now, guys, the first thing I'm going to do here is to rule out a line so I will know where the crotch line ends. Then I'm going to do the same thing to this line as well. I'm also going to rule a line here too. Then after doing that, I'm going to measure out about 2 inches. I'll measure 2 inches here. I'll come down a little bit, measure 2 inches. I'll go down, measure 2.5 inches. I'm just going to try and create a curve there to meet this line. So this 2 inches we are measuring out is going to be the sewing allowance. When we are cutting out the front, we didn't add any sewing allowance, guys, so we're going to be adding it to the back. I'll come here again and divide what I have here into 2. I'm just going to create the curve to meet this new line that we have gotten. I'm so sorry the camera is not really showing it well, but I really hope you guys are understanding what I'm doing here. So you're just going to cover the line like this, you see. Then I'm going to come to this line and measure 2.5 inches, and from there I'll measure the back crotch line. I'm supposed to have 15 inches, which is extra 3 inches added to the front crotch. Then I'll mark it, and from there I'll connect it to meet the waist. You see what I did, guys? I measured my 15 inches and from there I connected it. Now I'll come here and go out by 2 inches, go down a little bit, go out by 2 inches. I'll do this till I get to the hemline, and after doing that I'm going to connect the dots. So this 2 inches is going to serve as the joining allowance. I'm not going to be adding any allowance to the sides, so the allowances are only on the crotch area, this area. So I'm just going to cut this out. You can see, guys, these are the two front pieces and we have the back pieces as well. So I'm just going to place this aside, and you can see I have a band of about 5 inches, so when folded into 2 is about 2.5 inches. Now it's time for the sewing. The first thing I'm going to do now is to bring these two front pieces together like this, right face facing each other, and I'm going to sew it down. And I will do the same thing to the back piece, so I'm just going to sew it down as well. I'm done doing that, guys. As you can see, I am done joining both the front and the back crotch together. So right now I'm going to bring these two waistline together, and I'm going to measure about 4 inches, and I'm going to make a notch there, so where I'm going to sew the darts. So I'm just going to take this now to the sewing machine, and I'm just going to sew down the darts. I'm just going to sew the darts. I'll do the same thing to the back. I'm done doing that. You can see I'm done sewing the darts for both the front and the back pieces. Now I'm going to join them together, right face facing each other, you can see. And I'm going to take the body measurement, I'll take the waist measurement, I'll also take the hip measurement, then I'm going to sew it down. I'm done sewing. You can see I've joined it together. I also went ahead to use the overlock machine to weave the crotch line of the front and the back. Right now I'm going to bring it together, and I'll pin this place down. I'll pin it all the way to the end, and after pinning I'm just going to take it to the machine, and I'm going to join it using about 1/2 inch. As you can see guys, this is what I have after I was done joining it. You see, I'm going to flip it to the right face so you will see how it is looking. So right now the next step is for me to attach the band. You see the band piece we cut out earlier. I went ahead to iron wording to it in order to make it strong. So I'm going to fold it together like this and I will iron it out. After ironing guys, I'm just going to measure about 2 inches and I will cut out the excess. Right now guys, I'm going to bring the trouser and I will lose this part a little bit, which is going to be for the zipper. Now I'm going to place the band on the waistline of the trouser like this, and I'm just going to sew it all the way around. So guys, this is what I have after I was done sewing. I decided to also open this part, so I will just join it afterwards. So right now I'm going to fold it together following the same line we had on it when we ironed it out earlier. So I'm just going to fold it together like this, and after ironing it out, I will fold this part in and I'm going to pin it with a pin. And after doing that, I'm just going to do the same thing to the other side. Now I'm going to take it to the sewing machine and I will run a stitch on it like this, and I will do the same thing to the other side. Guys, I'm done running the stitch. You can see it came out so neat. I also went to join this part and I also went ahead to weave it all around. You can see I weave all the edges, so I weaved it all around. Now guys, the final step will be for me to attach the zipper. After attaching the zipper, I'll also go ahead to hem this part and hem the other side as well. After doing this, that will be basically all for this tutorial. You can see guys, this is me wearing the trouser. You see how it looks on me. This is the back view. You see how it is looking. So guys, if you love this video, don't hesitate to give us thumbs up, and if you haven't subscribed to our channel, please endeavor to hit the subscribe button. Thank you guys for watching this video. See you all in our next video. Bye.